In this video, I'll teach you the basics of looping in Cavalry and how it can be used to create animations like these. Now, for the first example, we have this animation of these three dots jumping up and down, sort of indicating something is loading. And for this right now, it's not repeating itself, it's not looping, but it's just going through it once. Now, for someone who doesn't know how to loop in Cavalry, they might try to just select all keyframes and then duplicate them as many times as they want. But this is generally bad practice since it's slow and it's not really optimal for long animation, but it works. There's just a better way. And the way we're going to do this is you have to select all of your keyframes you want to loop. And then we have this looping section down here, and you want to select the first one. And now if you go ahead and hit play, you'll see that the animation is going to loop forever. And this is quite nice, but we can't really see it like we can here. It's just going to show one time in the timeline here. And I found this weird thing that if the first and the last keyframe of the looping is set to the same value, it's not going to show this indication of the looping. But if we, for example, change the last keyframe to be a little different, for example, a y value of 1 instead of just the 0 that it all starts with, you're going to see that it has this indication that it's looping. I don't know if this is a bug or it's done on purpose, but I just wanted to point it out. However, for this animation, we kind of have to have the first and the last keyframe be the same, so I guess we just have to live with the fact that we can't really see if it's looping or not. But we can remove the loop again by selecting all keyframes and then going ahead to right click and then loop after, and then we can set it to none. And now you'll see that it'll only play once. Now, this isn't the only way you can use looping. For example, if you want to have a clock be animated going around, instead of just having it being static, you can have it tick one by one. And the way we're going to do this is we have this single animation for essentially one tick or 1 hour on the clock. And once you've had that animation established, you can then make this loop. And if we select them all and then use the normal loop, you'll see that we actually can see this looping indication because the first and the last keyframe of this animation isn't the same. But if you play the animation, you'll see that it's just going to repeat itself. And this is not really what we want. And the fix is actually really easy. And the way I want you to think about this is that for each loop, we're going to basically start at the end position of the last loop so that it sort of remembers what the last animation ended at. And then it's going to repeat that, but with the new offset. And the way we're going to do this is we're basically just going to select all the keyframes, and then instead of selecting the first button, we're going to select the second button under looping, and we'll now get this staircase looking graph. And if we go ahead and play the animation, we'll see that it works perfectly. Now, there is one more common use case for looping in Cavalry, and that involves effects like noise. And these might seem impossible to loop, but actually with the click of one button, we can loop an animation like this, where we have some circles being controlled by a noise layer. And furthermore, we can look inside of the duplicator and we'll see that the shape position is being controlled by this noise. And if we go ahead and play the animation, we'll see that it looks like this right now. And towards the end, you'll see that it cuts right back to the beginning again. And it doesn't have this seamless loop you might want if you were to post something on Instagram, for example. Now, to fix this, we're going to go into the noise layer and we'll have this looping checkbox. And that's literally it. There's just one more thing to note, and that is the time scale. And you might have to reduce this down to something like 0.1 as I've done, since it's going to speed up the animation significantly. But other than that, I just want to thank you for watching this video. And if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe, like, or even buy me a coffee. Links in the description.